Welcome back, everyone. It's episode 48 of the Fucking Ridiculous podcast. And yes, I am coming to you from my car, my new to me car. And I have encapsulated myself in this thing. I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm going to try not to even breathe so that the sound quality does not get fucked up. Now, in my defense, while I apologize profusely for the shitty sound issues from last Wednesday, and I was super mad actually because I was very proud of that episode because I do really support chucklesincharge, and we're going to talk more about that in a bit. But I was so angry with myself because I just couldn't fix it, and I hate it when I can't do something. But if you recall, last Wednesday, Disney Hater was going on Twitter Spaces to announce his presidency or candidacy or himself to be a candidate for president. So, and the sound and everything got all fucked up. And I'm thinking to myself, was it a coincidence that my sound got fucked up too? I don't think so. So maybe it was something last Wednesday, like in the cosmos and the universe, that made me completely inept and the twatter. Although I'm pretty sure the twatter's pretty inept a lot. So anyway, I apologize again. I'm going to try and re-record the last two episodes because I can fix it and I can do better. I just want you to know that. So thanks for sticking with me. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, moving on to shout outs. Number one, I would like to say a great big thank you to Montana Showalter. She is a very, very famous YouTuber, and she came by on Monday to give me some tips about podcasting and vlogs and how to do it while traveling, and talk to me about my website. And she is precious. And she is on her way now to an internship in San Francisco, and I hope it goes so well. Thank you so much, Montana. She is fluent in German and probably a bunch of other languages as well, but she vlogs and about an American living in Germany and studying in Germany and what the differences are and the similarities. And she's got a huge following. So check her out on YouTube if you want. The finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs, they start Saturday. And they will be in Vegas. It is the Vegas Golden Knights against the Florida Panthers. I'm not going to say any more other than I am dying to get to the game on the 10th, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday, because that's in Florida and I can get there a lot faster because I'm an East Coast girl. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a battle. You should totally tune in. Stanley Cup, shout out to both those teams. I cannot fucking wait. We had graduation. For my older son. And I believe that my mom was smiling down on us for sure, because after a week of really terrible weather and really cold weather, we had this gorgeous day, and the graduation was outside. And while some people said it was long, you know what? I would have sat outside forever because it was just nice. That was the kickoff to an awesome Memorial Day, where the rest of the weekend was really crappy weather. And I did a lot of organizing my life because I have been putting that off. Which leads me to the quote of the week. And the quote of the week, and hang on, I need to look at my paper so I can get it right and pray that the sound isn't going to fuck up just because I'm turning myself. Punctuality is a virtue of the board. So I am not a punctual person, and I am not proud of that fact. I have a lot of shortcomings. I'm fully aware of many of them. I'm sure I'm not aware of all of them, and I'm sure there are lots of people that would love to write me and tell me what they are. So I understand. I have many. The list is long. Punctuality is something that I have been working on, though, because I do feel like you should model these behaviors for your children. And I have one particular child who is extremely late all the time. And I swear it's all of the qualities that are not awesome about me, he might have either learned or gotten from me. And for that, I apologize so much, because sometimes, you just think you can get a lot done. And then all of a sudden you're like, I didn't know it was going to take that long to like unload the dishwasher, or you just are like trying to do that one last thing and you just totally fuck yourself. So punctuality, though, you know, people that really are punctual, like the people that are like, if you're on time, you're late, I have so much respect for them. I'm not saying they're boring. I'm just saying they definitely have a different mindset and a way of thinking. And I sometimes wish I had that. I don't. I am recording at 5:15 the night before. I am praying that this is going to sound beautiful so that my editing process will be very streamlined so that I can go to bed before 2 a.m. Because last week I didn't go to bed before 2 a.m. And then I start off the weekend kind of like in a shitty mood because I'm tired. My daughter went to see The Little Mermaid and she said, meh. I very much want to see the movie You Hurt My Feelings, which I like to joke with my husband because I referred to him as King of the Tough Love for so long that when I would say something and he would kind of look at me like, I'd be like, oh, did I hurt your feeling? That was like a running joke for us. So anyway, I think that movie looks really funny and cute. I'm super excited it's summer. Like, I just feel like I feel like all of a sudden, like the door's been open and things are happening and people are happier and we have like fun TV shows to make fun of and watch. And we've got, you know, graduations and weddings and parties and people are taking trips and it's gonna be a great summer. I really, really think it will be. In the news, we are going to have a hotter summer than we maybe anticipate here in the South. We will also be rather droughty. I believe that the sharks have been out in force on the East Coast at least. And then there was something that was happening down in Hawaii too. So I feel like sharks are unhappy. Then there are the orcas that are like sinking ships down near South America. The species in the oceans are unhappy a little bit, and I'm not sure why. We could probably take our pick of reasons, but I would just like to go on record as saying, I respect all of you. I will try and do my best to respect your habitat when I visit the oceans. Please do not eat me or bite me or scare the shit out of me, because that is like a very irrational fear of mine. That and snakes. Sorry, I literally can't even talk about them without mini puking. Let's see. Also in the news. So the debt ceiling, we don't have an agreement on the debt. Yeah, I think there is, they think there's something, and then at the last minute, people are like, nope. So the bottom line is no agreement has been made yet, and we will likely default by Monday, which I think would be the 5th of June. Should we not come to an agreement soon? Obviously, no one was heeding my advice last week when I said, go home, pleasure yourself several times, and then come back to the table with a better attitude and just lighter in general. So again, I'm going to reiterate, if you did not follow those instructions, please do that this time around, because we need to compromise people. We really do. Chuckles in Charge. Chuckles in Charge has not really taken off yet, and that is my own fault. Number one, because I haven't made any clips from last week's episode because I was so upset with the audio. Every time I heard it, I was like, oh my God, it sounded like I was crinkling paper in someone's ear, and I'm so sorry. But if you missed any of what I was saying due to said crinkling, I am nominating Charles Barkley, AKA Chuckles, for the presidential candidacy. And, you know, we've got Chris Christie, and I think Mike Pence is going to throw his name in there. So, I mean, we got a lot of players. I just feel like he would really bring some pizzazz to the table, you know? So I'm going to start promoting that this week, provided that I actually sound like a normal human being that is not crackling paper in your ear. So that was just the update on the Chuckles in Charge. It's not going yet, but I have a feeling it's going to take off really, really soon. I really, really do. Oh, there's the crinkle. God, sorry. I'm just going to turn the paper over and hope for the best here. Okay. So, California is talking about a Skittles ban. And not a Skittles band, but a Skittles ban. And it's because of the red dyes and this particular dyes that the Taste the Rainbow candy has and that are made with. And they've been through this several times over the past 30 years, I think. And basically, the gist of the article that I read was anytime someone's like, ooh, we don't like that ingredient or that is bad, and the manufacturers change the recipe, the public is like, it does not taste right. Put the poison back in it and we will just deal. That is the same thing that's happened with some cereals. So I feel like that is kind of a useless it's just a waste of energy. Like, if we want to ban something, ban high fructose corn syrup. Ban Coca-Cola products in schools, because I will tell you, for one, I have raised a criminal, and that person will do anything, and I mean almost anything, for a Coca-Cola. And not a Coke and a smile. I mean, she has a smile when she has it, but it's really, really bad. So if we're going to focus on banning substances in our food, I think we should really look at the obesity issues and the high fructose corn syrup, and the fact that sugar or high fructose corn syrup is basically in every single thing that you will find in the grocery store that does not come from the ground. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, I did the Whole30, and that's how I know that. But anyway, the Nike has now, oh, by the way, just watched Air over the weekend. Really, really liked the movie so much. I mean, how can you not love that Affleck and Damon are back together? I mean, anything with Jason Bateman, he just does not get old to me at all. Like, I could listen to him all the time. His humor is his timing is so good. But anyway, I love this movie because the whole first 5 minutes, I think that there's an entire generation that is like, what is that? Because there's so many things that we all recognize that I know no one born after probably like 1990 maybe would have any fucking clue what any of this stuff was. They probably are surprised we even had shoes or Nikes, And the soundtrack for this movie is just, I can't even. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. My husband just looked over at me and he was like, you didn't even need to watch the movie. You just could have listened to the soundtrack. And I was like, you're damn right. That's right. But back to Nike. They now have cowboy Nikes. And I looked at the picture and I thought for sure that they were going to be like some kind of a boot, but they're like lace-up tennis shoes that go up to your, like, just on the side of your knee. So I got to be honest in saying, I'm sure they'll take off and there will be certain people that will make them look so cool. I am not one of those people, and I think they look fucking stupid. That's just me. Call me, like uncool probably. But I think I applaud them for like branching out and really thinking out of the box again. But I gotta say, I don't need any leather all over my legs in the summer when it's like 105 degrees, because I'm already sweating to the oldies and I'm sitting in my car right now. And all I'm doing is talking. Sweating, actually, because I'm hoping that the sound is okay on this. And I keep touching the paper and I'm sorry. So a couple of other things that were in the news that I found interesting. Apparently, America is down and we are coming back. And that is where, it was Make America Great, Make America Greater, keep making it great. And now it's the Great American Comeback, everybody. So we've been down. We've been really down, but we're coming back. That's what I'm reading here. So hopefully we can get that debt figured out and get on our merry way for that, and then really coming at it. Southern accents. Now, as someone who has a Southern accent, not a deep Southern accent, and I will tell you this because I worked hard to get rid of a lot of my Southern accent, but there are certain words I know that do not sound right. And so, anyway, y'all is probably one of them. But in a study, it says that people with Southern accents could be losing out on like up to 20% of jobs because of their accent. And I have actually thought about this a lot because I think that anyone with a British accent or an English accent sounds so much smarter than me. They could be saying the dumbest shit and I'd still be like, fucking brilliant, you know? Anyone from the North, like, I think that their accent is so distinctive that you have to take them seriously because you know if you try and make fun of it, they're gonna fucking kick your ass. So you gotta take them seriously. And then you've got your Southern accents where in the South we sing song a little bit and we talk a little bit slow and we'll draw things out. And, you know, for like a New Yorker, you're like, oh my God, get the fuck on with it. Or if you say you're a little like, get off the porch, the big dogs are coming in or something like that. People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, we've got all those isms that people don't know. Oh, bless your heart. And, you know, anyway, so I buy that. I totally do. I do think, though, it's a little discriminatory because if that's the only accent and way you learned how to talk, I mean, how would you know there's anything different unless you like go up north or you have to travel, right? So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I believe it to be true. I certainly do. And I bet it's worse for men. That's just a guess on my part. No factual information behind that one at all. Okay, just a newsflash for everyone. And in case you've never traveled before on a plane, opening the door while the plane is in the air is not allowed. That is 100%, like that's a do not open, that's a no-go zone, that is not okay. So please don't do that. And if anyone saw the videos from that, holy shit. I was like, I'm gonna have to get on a plane fairly soon. And now I'm like, no way am I sitting in the exit row. I don't wanna get sucked out of the fucking plane because some dum-dums like thinking they're putting their window shade down. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to do. I'm hoping that person was drunk because dear God. I have been told about a couple of really amazing trends going on and Scandival is one of them. Now, I had to stop watching Bravo because it's like the TikTok to kids now. Bravo was like that to me. I loved every show and I could just sit there and like get sucked into everyone. But I actually didn't have the luxury to do that because I had these people that didn't want to watch the show with me and I kind of needed to do stuff with them. But this thing, I am going to start watching the show. And apparently they had a reunion last week and it was hot. Hot, not in like a sexy hot, but just like heated. And now tonight apparently is part 2. So I'm going to get the lowdown from the interns and they're going to tell me all about it. But I'm going to start tuning in. Also, totally behind on Succession. I have no idea. Don't tell me what happened. Don't tell me. I don't know because I got to catch up on that too. You know, I'm behind on my TV shows. I'm so glad it's summer. So glad it's summer. And we've got Beyonce and we've got Taylor and we've got tons of awesome concerts coming. And so the big question is, how much will you pay for a Taylor ticket? How much will you pay for a Beyonce ticket since they've all been purchased and now they're being resold for like ridiculous amounts of money? But then the better question is, how much more are you willing to pay for your Ticketmaster fees? Because those are like 35% of what your ticket is. We've been down this road before. I really want to go to a bunch of concerts. I'm going to have to take this on this summer as a part-time job, as like taking down Ticketmaster, because it's not okay. It's not okay. We just want to listen to the fucking music. I mean, I'm not supporting your PJ habit because, and that's not a BJ habit, it's a PJ, because I just want to go see a band. Like, fuck off. God, so dumb. To the point where people now are like going and gathering outside of the venues just to like put their ear to the door, you know, oh, I think I can smell her, you know, like fucking ridiculous. And then police are like, please don't do that. Please. I'm like, well, fucking lower the tickets. Like, it's America. It's America. I did some research today. I decided to go to where the real source of news is, i.e. TikTok. And I was doing some research on like best graduation gifts and like best wedding gifts and like wedding trends and stuff because, you know, it's the season. I think I can throw a party and if enough time is there and enough money, I mean, I can throw a great party. There are a lot of things though that like when it comes down to it, they don't really matter. And when my kids were younger and we would have birthday parties, I, being the last minute person that I am, would always forget about the goodie bags. And, you know, at a certain age, like everyone's like, what's the goodie bag? The goodie bag. They could give a shit about your $100 cake that you spent all this money for and nobody actually likes the taste of it. It just looks pretty. And everyone's like, can I have a cupcake? Can I have a fruit roll up? You know, and you're like, that was a waste. But who is it for? It was for you and the parents. So then that gets me to like grown-up parties and graduation parties and dinners and stuff and weddings. And while I am a huge fan of like a memento, I gotta say, like, there's a lot of money wasted on stuff that seems like a good idea at the time, maybe, especially if you've had a couple glasses of wine. And then when it comes out, you're like, nobody cared. And I'm going to venture to say people probably get their feelings hurt, like that people are like, didn't take the koozies or didn't take the matches or whatever. Like, I think the bottom line is, I think everybody loves a gesture, a gift, or a favor. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like personalized. It could just be a nice piece of chocolate or a nice bottle of wine in your room. It doesn't have to be the engraved foiled napkins or the, with your name on it and the Huggies. Not to say that there's anything wrong with this. Everything's out of control right now. The social media, like, you've got to go big. You've got to like have your wall of donuts and you've got to have your mirrored aisle and your bedazzled, jeweled veil. Like everything is big, big, big idea. And the dresses are getting shorter. And men don't have to wear tuxes anymore. They can be more casual in what they wear, which I support. That's totally fine. They're moving from like a weekend wedding to maybe like a Thursday night. Well, that got too expensive. So now they're just moving to darties, which makes perfect sense to me. I mean, day drinking is the best way to do it. It's so smart for everyone. Like, get it done, have your darty, everyone's in bed by 8, you feel good the next morning. Super. The changing dresses at the reception is apparently also a thing. Now, a lot of these things I did not do because I am lazy. And I was like, why would I change into another dress when I'm already in a dress? Why would I want to spend the money on this particular favor when I actually just wanted a really fun band I'd rather put the money towards them staying an extra hour, or something. But everybody spends their money differently, obviously. But I just want to give you a heads up that if you are going to be attending a wedding in 2023, the odds are it is going to be slightly over the top in some way, which is always fun and funny. And I think you should expect the unexpected. I think you should think of the Capital costumes from Hunger Games. That's what I think the next couple years of weddings are going to be like. I think it's going to be like crazy makeup and like big puffy dresses, but they're going to be short and they're going to show some skin and they're going to be really, really colorful, like neon-y and pastel-y. And it's, it's not going to be as traditional that way. But apparently, the one tradition that does remain the same is the bigger the ring, obviously, the more you love the person. Because, carrot size says it all. So I am personally not a big jewelry person. I'm not a big gift person. People probably assume I'm divorced. I'm not divorced. I just don't wear my rings. I've stopped wearing them because of COVID and now my hands are all swollen and so whatever. But I'm just not a big ring person. But I do see the tradition in like, oh, I love you so much. I want you to marry me. Would you please be my wife and do me the honor? And this is my gift to you. But I do think that has also really gotten a little too extreme. I just don't feel right about the person that wants to marry me spending thousands of dollars on a ring that I could lose. Now, I know you're like, before you start hating on me, here's my one little disclaimer. If you are a gambler and you are up and down and losing money on your bets, and then you're kind of like, I don't want to do the ring thing. Why do I have to do that? Why don't I get a ring? That's bullshit, okay? If you have money to burn and lose gambling, then you can put that towards a ring for your lovely partner, future person to be in your life, if they want one. Now me, I might want an anklet. Yes, Devin, I said it. I might want an anklet because I fucking love an anklet. I do think, though, over the top, and over the top, we're just going to keep seeing more of it. Looking back on my favorites from weddings that we've been to, the chicken and waffles at the end of the night at one bar, that was amazing. It was like a chicken and waffles bar at the end of the night, not a bar, like it was still at the actual reception. That was spot on awesome. We bring out like the big old things with the cheeseburgers and french fries and curly fries on trays. That was awesome. I love a big band where you've got like 10 people and they're all beautiful and they all have like their boas on and their costume and they just sound so fucking good. God rest Tina Turner, by the way. God, I loved her. Everything else kind of falls by the wayside for me, I just want to go on record as saying a lot of the little touches that a detail-oriented person might think is going to make or break that situation, they're not. They're not, because there are very few people that are actually noticing that. They're probably pregnant or their mothers-in-law. So, love you, slutty grams. 3 words of advice. Everybody has their graduation speeches and they have their speakers and they've got their valedictorians and their salutatorians. And, my son delivered an amazing, I'm just kidding. He wasn't either of those. I love him so much and I'm so proud of him. And it's fine that he wasn't a valedictorian or salutatorian because he's still awesome. And I want all of you to remember that when other people got awards and you didn't. You're still awesome and it's a huge accomplishment. And the reward is that you graduated and finished high school. And that is a closing of a chapter and you've got a new big one in front of you. That's what she said. Or he said, sorry. So my 3 tips for new graduates for this particular summer, whether you are going away to college, going to a trade school, going to travel, starting work, whatever it is that you're doing, this is the one summer. There's no other summer like this because you're still most likely living at home. You still kind of have that semblance of feeling of like a kid, and you still aren't completely in control of everything. And that is actually good because, number 1, you want to enjoy this summer. You want to strike the best balance of say yes to every motherfucking thing that you can say yes to that you want to do that is not smoking crack or anything like that, while making as much money as you possibly can, because you are going to need more money than you think. Let me repeat that. You're going to need more money than you think, and it's going to be harder to be bailed out. So learn how to budget your money and learn how to budget your time. Balance it with fun and work. Balance it with not buying stupid, ridiculous shit and spending it on, Chipotle when you could maybe just go to the grocery store. That leads me to my second thing. Figure out a few things that you need to learn before you go to college. And we're going to start a segment soon, and it's going to be called Life Skills. Life Skills with Nicole. And we're going to discuss and watch in action cleaning a toilet, going to the grocery store with a set amount of money to buy food for the week, not alcohol or gum. We're going to learn how to do laundry, change sheets, put away laundry, little things like that. Make a phone call to the dentist to make an appointment. Figure out what to do when you lose your phone, when you lose your wallet, when you get a parking ticket, when your car gets stolen. Those are all life skill things that we just need to learn. And I feel like I'm the person. I can be your person. I will give you the tools. Just ask me if you don't want to ask your parents, because that leads me to my third thing. You have a support network. Odds are you have a support network still. While you are still with them this summer, lean on them. Ask all your stupid questions right now to them, because they love you, and better for them to laugh at you in your own home than later when the rest of the world is. So, for instance, do you toast the bagel before or after you put the cream cheese on it? The answer to that is after. Yes, after. That's right. Little things like that. So lean on your support system, and then conversely, support system, lean out. Don't fucking do stuff for them anymore, because I can already guarantee you want them to leave. You are ready for them to leave, because their attitude towards you is just like, they know it all, and they know it all, and you know nothing. So lean out, ignore them, and let them figure some shit out on their own, because when it comes down to it, whenever they move out, you're not gonna be there. And while you can probably bail them out, you don't want to, and you shouldn't. Finally, I did not do the What I'm Loving segment, and I am going to show you what I am loving. So, back when I had my shoulder surgery, I talked about makeup crayons. And I'm sure these are not called crayons, but if you don't know what crayons are those things that people write with, right? So these things are awesome. And that's what I have on my eyes right now. And I'll show you. I can just do this with one hand. Oh, look. I don't even have a mirror. I'm just sticking it on there. And look, it kind of brightens my eyes up. I look a little bit more awake, These things are the best. These are from Thrive Cosmetics. And I'm sure your Instagram's full of this feed. But I love them. They're what I'm loving this week. And I got to get some new ones because I just totally nubbed them out. So be sure to tune in to the Stanley Cup Finals. The French Open is starting. And if you have never watched tennis before, the French Open is a really good one to watch. And there are a lot of hot tennis players, and there are a lot of really exciting younger tennis players out there. And it is a faster paced sport. So watch that, go for a walk, enjoy the summer, and catch up on Scandival. Okay. So I did have some other things to chat about, and we're going to chat about those next week, like best and worst graduation gifts. To talk let me down this week. They did not have any good ones. And I'm wondering if it's just me. They didn't want to share with me because they didn't want me to share with you, or if they just all suck. So anyway, until then, have a wonderful week. And remember, it's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. And if it's not fine, it'll be fine tomorrow morning when you wake up.